Hello everyone, this is Jenny Yetto from the Pixie Post, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to sit down with you guys today and do a short video because it is the last day of 2019. I can't believe we're already here. It almost seems surreal right now because it's the end of a year, but it's also the end of a decade. And it's been quite a decade for all of us. Some good things, some bad things, just like life is. But it's amazing how this decade has been, let alone this past year. And I was sitting here having a cup of tea and relaxing and trying to get myself geared up to do some other things for today. And I had been writing my goals and just really reflecting on the growth I've had this year. And I thought, well, I'll shoot this video for the last day. Why not? I've learned a lot of things this decade, of course, because 10 years you grow a lot physically and emotionally and in all different ways. But this year has been really defining for me. And I realized there were three things I learned that really contributed to my spiritual growth, my mental growth, as well as my business, all aspects in my life. And I wanted to share them with you because we all have different lessons we've learned. And it's a really good time to really look back and see how far you've come. But before I get into it, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to have your own cup of tea or coffee and sit for a few minutes with me. And please click like and subscribe if you'd like to see these videos in the future. I have a lot of new content coming out very soon, as well as some readings and maybe a couple other little new things I'm going to be bringing to 2020. Also, I'm going to be redoing my Patreon page, so stay tuned for that. That will be in the middle of construction or reconstruction, so bear with me on that. But if you'd like to support my channel, that would be awesome. You can either just follow me on there, or if you want to make a monetary donation to help support this channel, that's always welcome as well. But only if you can afford that. I don't want anyone doing that if they cannot afford that, because I'd rather you take care of yourself first. And now let's get into the three things I learned in 2019. Number one, getting out of my comfort zone. Now, this is a pretty broad statement. A lot of us desire to do these type of things, to grow within ourselves by going out of our comfort zone and trying new things, trying new experiences, meeting new people, doing things that you've always wanted to do but you never had the guts to do. And while I still have a long way to go, I've come really far with this. And I'm happy with the progress I made this year. 2020 is going to be a year I'll go out of my comfort zone even more with other things. Now, for me, it was partly personal and it was partly business-wise. For one thing, it's this channel. And I will take a moment to thank all of you for supporting my channel, being supportive of my social media, and really, really help keep me going. Because while I had the passion and drive within myself, and while Spirit fueled its messages through me and allowed me to experience this journey, it wouldn't be possible without you guys. It really wouldn't. And I do thank you for that. And I appreciate all of you. And I also found out doing a YouTube channel is not very easy. It sounds easy. For some, the video content creation is easy. But I had no idea what it took with the editing, choosing the music, choosing the graphics. I make all my thumbnails, so doing that takes time. And I love all of it. And that's the crazy part. I love all of it. But it can be an all-day thing. And I have an offline job as well as some health issues I deal with every day, as well as keeping myself spiritually aligned. It takes a lot of time, and plus family and friends and all that, and just everyday life stuff. And time management is a thing I'm really working on, and I'm going to be focusing on more in 2020. I was never really good at time management. When I'm at work and going to a job, I'm excellent at it. I organized, right on it, no problem. When it comes to doing your own business and your own content creation, you really have to be disciplined to a point where you get things done. You have to make your list. And not everybody writes things down. And I was writing a lot of things down, and then I kind of got away from that. Now I'm starting to get back to it. And I notice when I'm writing down every day what I have to do, even if it's just a couple things, it really helps keep me on track. So I have my Google Calendars. I have I do still like pen and paper, so I write things down. So I kind of got notes everywhere all the time, like remember to do this, remember to do that, edit this, edit that, and it's quite a journey. But I admit I'm loving every minute of it. And the more videos I made, the more excited I was to bring you guys valuable content. And when I saw that it was helping people out there, even if it was just one a day, or one a video, if I could help one person, that made a big difference to me. And it's helping me as well. And I'm learning as I'm helping others. And it's kind of a win-win because we're all on this journey together. And on the spiritual awakening journey, I've found like-minded people that I've connected with. And it's really amazing how a lot of us are shifting. And we're all shifting in one way or another, but all of us are starting to realize the important things in life. And 2020 is going to be a continuation of that. So, yeah, so that's one way I'm really getting out of my comfort zone. And which leads me to the second thing I've learned for 2019. Stop dulling your sparkle. And we hear that phrase a lot. It's kind of fitting because I'm a Pixie and I do like that sparkle. But I've noticed that while I'm a very happy, upbeat person, that's my default nature. I do have a dark side like everybody else. I have shadow work I've had to do, and I've done a lot this year. And it's a continuing process. We all have things that we need to work on within ourselves. It's just a matter of when we decided to do that. And I've noticed that I would do self-deprecating humor. And I still do it. I catch myself doing it. Or I'll start saying, well, I can't afford that. So I'm expressing a point of view coming from lack. And it was really interesting when I was becoming more mindful to what I would say about myself. Even though I do love myself in an unselfish way. I know a lot of us say that, and it's like, I don't mean that as arrogant or anything, and most of you know where I'm coming from. But I don't mean that in that sense. It's just a matter of loving myself enough to have boundaries, to not talk bad about myself. And I'm also learning financially to not talk about where I can't afford it, where I can't do this, I don't have enough money. Because when I start saying that, or even when I start really thinking that, I am coming from a place of lack. And the universe picks up on that. If you ever notice that, oh, well, I don't have enough money, or, oh, I can't do this, you notice that your outer reality reflects that. So it's really a matter of mindset and perspective. So I noticed this year, once I became mindful of that, I started shifting that. And I gave this example before at my hotel job that I do offline. I'm on the phones all day. And for quite a time, I was getting really frustrated with the people I was getting on the phone. A lot of them were grumpy, a lot of them were yelling, a lot of them were stupid. Sorry to say that, but they were. And it was just to the point where I was really dreading going into my job. I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. I was getting depleted and burned out. But when I had the epiphany where I started becoming more mindful of how I was reacting, I decided to be proactive and change that mindset. It doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect. You're still going to get your people. That's okay. But it's a matter of how you respond to it. So I started going into my job kind of on a trial run where I was starting to take the perspective, okay, if I can help one person today, then it'll be worth it. Or what can I do to bring value to someone's uh, life, whether it's someone in the office or someone on the phone or even someone I encounter on the way to work or on the way home, whatever. And I noticed that when I started doing that little shift, it started changing. The guests I was getting weren't as grumpy. They weren't as mean spirited. Um, so it was really, really interesting. It was almost like the law of attraction. You're going to attract what you put out. And that really drove that point home for me. Now, I do still have days where people are kind of up in arms. I don't know if it's the full moon or whatever, but I noticed it doesn't affect me as much. I can let go of it a lot quicker and go back to my um, peaceful state, if you will. So it's really interesting. So I noticed that I wasn't as down about myself, and I wasn't as down about with other people. And I think it really makes a difference in all aspects of your life. So I'm going to continue to practice mindfulness, but in other areas of my life as well. So, and the last thing I learned in 2019 was to face my fears. And this is a very deep subject for me. I already touched on it as far as working on my shadows. And for those of you who don't understand what shadow work means, it just means working on your inner self, working on any traumatic things that have happened to you or any negative experiences that left you afraid of something or uh, feeling less about yourself, and just really working through those things to transmute that energy and to dispel it. Realize your own self-worth. And there's so many ways you can do this. You can do this through meditation. You can do it through journaling. You can do it through getting more in touch with animals and nature, connecting with something that really brings you joy and that you're drawn to in a positive way. And for some, it might mean getting professional help, where there's nothing wrong with that. You got to do what works for you. And for me, it was just being alone with myself. It was meditating and working within and just really facing it afraid. Because when you do that inner work, when you do that hard work, you will get through that. Sometimes it's good to have people support you and help you through that journey, which I did at times. I didn't do any professional counseling, although I had considered it at times. But I had a very strong spiritual community that helped me through these things, because it really helps you know that you're not alone and you're never alone. You're always supported, whether it's people who care about you in this reality, or it could be through your spirit guides or angels, your spirits, um, past loved ones. It can help in there. It can be so much help in so many levels. I'm sorry, I'm getting all tongue tied as usual, but it was really enlightening to me that I was never alone. I was never on the wrong path. I was exactly where I was supposed to be. I just had to realize that for myself and work on that trauma that I went through. And I had a fear of abandonment for a while because I lost my husband a little over 4 years ago uh, through through death, and it was really hard for a while. And it really altered my confidence, and I didn't realize how much it penetrated through a lot of aspects of my life. But now I'm starting to finally feel free of that. And it's allowing me to work through any other baggage that I had. And again, like for everybody, this is a continual process. You're never really at the end of it, but you'll notice you'll get stronger as you go, and you'll feel a lightness within you that you might not have felt before. But taking that first step and recognizing that you have to do the work first. This is not always sunshine and lollipops. The spiritual awakening is a tough process, but you're always supported. And once you really know that, it makes it a little bit easier to go through. And believe me, it is worth it. It is so worth it. And through facing my fears, I realized that my reality wasn't to be taken at face value. I chose my reality. And now I'm taking that to heart. I'm choosing my reality. I'm choosing the vibration I want to be on. And all of us have the capacity to do that. It's just a matter of when you're ready. And some of us are ready now, and some of us will be ready next year. But you'll know. You'll know when you're ready. And when you take that step, it'll be a beautiful process overall. So that really means a lot to me this year, because if I can't take care of myself, I can't bring you guys content. I can't bring you guys value. I want to be able to share my experiences with all of you, and maybe it will help one of you that thinks maybe you're going crazy because you're feeling certain ways, or you're going through certain things, or you're seeing that your reality is not what you were brought up to know it as. And no, you're not going crazy. It's just you're waking up to the real possibilities out there. And this is when it's time to choose your reality. Choose the vibration you want to be on. And we'll have more videos on that in the future. I've already have a couple that I probably tagged throughout the video if you're more curious about that. But I am finally entering a new year less afraid, less intimidated. And it's such a good feeling. It took me so long to get there. And that's why this year, this last year of this decade means so much. Because now I know I'm free to keep on going and to bring you more content, bring value to the world. And we all have that. We all have something to bring to this world. So, wow, as usual, I get a little emotional during these videos. Forgive me for that. But I wanted to just share these 3 things that really changed me this year for the better. And it may not seem like a huge deal to you, but we all have those things that we know that really resonate with our heart and soul, and that really has defined us this year, whether we went through good things or bad things. Now I learned that the bad things we go through don't happen to us. They happen for us. And we can either lay down and give up, or we can get back up and keep on going and keep on growing and keep on learning our self-worth and keep on remembering who we really are. So I chose the latter. That's what I learned this year. I'm really excited about 2020. I'm excited to keep expanding on this channel and on this journey of life as we know it. And I want to thank you all again and wish you all a beautiful, happy new year. Stay safe and be well. And just know, to know thyself is to know thy truth. Namaste. Hello everyone, this is Jenny Yetto from the Pixie Post, and welcome back to my channel. I was sitting here writing my, I don't know how to talk anymore. And to know thyself is to know, God, what? Have you ever noticed my voice always starts going to the wayside when I start channeling and when I start getting into the zone? What is up with that? Oh my God. upstairs neighbors stomping around, jacking up the music. I swear to God, you're lucky you have a whole flight of stairs that can barely go up, because that would be Pixie stomping all ya. Oh my God. Yeah, we're doing good, right? Hi everyone, it's Jenny Yetto from the Pixie Post, and welcome back to my channel. And I know you're going to hear all this background noise that just decides to start when I'm about to do my video. Awesome. Number 1. What the hell is my goal? I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, man. So, anyway, now let's go on to the 3 things that, yeah, okay. I'm getting tongue-tied. What else is new? Oh, yeah. Don't you love upstairs neighbors? Yeah. God, my brain just went dead. Dead, I'm telling you, dead.